That worked fine. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. And welcome to All Hallows Eve. Am I right, everybody? Today we're going to actually be doing an H3 Ghost Stories tier list. We have a playlist that I found that has 20 ghost story highlights. I don't know if it's actually all of them. I'm hoping that it is. And then I made this beautiful... Oh, if it'll... Oh, okay. Don't glitch out on me now, Photoshop, or I'll be mad. I've got this beautiful Photoshop tier list ready to go. We have a lot of names here, a lot of faces, familiar faces, old friends, old buddies, old pals. So that'll be a lot of fun to get to. We do have a few things to look at first, including some Instagram stuff. But before that, I do want to give a little bit of a shout out here
connected
to
I see.
The most recent guest on Alex's H3Y podcast had a recent, I guess, idea come to mind about some issues that she's been having. They talked about it at the beginning of this podcast. I would recommend everybody go watch the full podcast all the way through, but she also made a post on Instagram that I'm going to look at, as well as, oh, one sec. So we'll watch this, and then I'm adding.
They're a private investigator to help find my niece. CPS already had their chance, and now she's 17, turning 18 in April. They're too slow to do anything further, and on top of that, they've already failed her by sending her back to a home that she reported to them. I know that what she's experiencing is true, though I would believe her regardless, because I was one of the kids who her parent also raped and abused. So she's tried to open a CPS case to get away from them. And recently, she has tried to take her own life to try and get away from them. Started a GoFundMe titled Help Francis Escape a Life of Abuse. So that's exactly what the GoFundMe will serve to do. The full goal is $15,000, which I would like to split 3 ways, ideally, but whichever way needs to be allocated.
Sorry, pausing, because I think my internet might have had a small glitch. Okay, sorry. Just want to make sure it's all getting sent through properly.
Regardless, it will go to a private investigator, helping her actually escape when the time comes, and a savings account in her name. Originally, I didn't ask for money because I think it was from a place of pride. I wanted to prove the point that I am thriving, but like being realistic, I am thriving. I'm not financially thriving. She doesn't deserve a half-assed attempt at helping her. She deserves the real thing. She deserves everything that I can give her. Overall, I'm going to do what I can to improve my own income. But these things in the meantime, private investigator, and for whenever it does pop up, needing to escape her situation, those things are very expensive. I'm still in debt from getting away from my abusive ex-husband, which is something that I want her to avoid. Her name is Frances Roslyn, and she's the most beautiful and smart and funny kid in the entire world. She is good down into her bones. Good kid and a good person. There's a GoFundMe link in my bio. I'll also be trying to post it everywhere else I can. Currently it's posted to my story. If you're able to help, that would be amazing. Anything would be appreciated. If you are unable to donate, know that sharing these helps a lot. If you have donated but you still want to do more, sharing be tremendous.
So I'm gonna be. It's in the link has been put in the description. I'm gonna drop it in chat as well. Hoping there's not. Okay, there we go. I was making sure it shortened it, and they're gonna pin that in chat. Making sure everything is all good. There we go. Cool. Yes.
Please help. She's such a good kid. She's a very beautiful girl.
But yeah, I think that if you feel touched by it and feel like doing something to help, it definitely is supporting a good cause and a good person. So moving on to other Instagram stuff, though. Let's lighten the mood up, shall we? Here is a interesting little doohickey made by some fellas. I wish I had one of these. I don't know if there's music playing. I don't think. I mean, I don't know why you would need to hear that anyways, but it's not music at least. This is literally something you'd see out of like Mad Max. It's pretty legit. Are all of these just for show, you think? That's what I'm thinking. There's no way these are actually doing anything. There may be, I mean, maybe they're like to, bounce away any big rocks or something, like if they're in the front as well. In the back, they're just helping pave the road a little bit. Keeping it a little bit flatter than usual. Oh, they thought it was in Mad Max too. I didn't even read this. That was my own thought, I swear. Human ingenuity. Speaking of human ingenuity, here's a little magic trick.
Trick of the
It
day.
reminds me of Far Cry for some reason. A little bit. There's something there. There's something there. But here's a little magic trick for everybody on this All Hallows Eve. Y'all ready for All Hallows Day, All Saints Day? What's your patron saint? Drop it in chat.
What's this? Light on. Light off.
Funnily enough, my saint is actually Saint Wolfgang, who's Saint Wolfgang of Regensburg, who was canonized in 1052, whose holiday, whose saint day is actually celebrated on October 31st. Halloween, isn't that crazy? Little fun fact for you.
Watch this now. I'm going to put it right in my mouth. And chew on it. Mmm. Perfect. Light. Trick of the day. Trick of the...
I feel, I have the feeling this was just pretty good sleight of hand, but I also get the feeling that he could have just eaten an actual mini light bulb.
Day. What's this? Light on. Light off. Watch this now. I'm going to put it right in my mouth. And chew on it. Mmm. Perfect. Light. Trick of the day.
What if that's the candy the guy hands you, though? What if he hands you this and goes, here's a little bit of candy for you? The hell did I come in on? Something amazing, something beautiful, something truly astonishing. The feats of the human body.
Trick of the day. What's this? Light on. Light off. Watch this now. I'm going to put it right in my mouth.
It's a magic trick, right? It's just a magic trick.
And chew on it.
It's just a magic trick. Here's a little something for you. Yeah, the crunching, it's it was just some hard candy he had in his mouth beforehand that he's using to make it seem like the trick is real, right? I hope so. Who's ready for this one, though? Everybody complains about an HOA until your neighbor puts this up on the block. What do you do when your neighbor comes out with one of these? Oh, wait, I need the sound on. Start.
Shot number 3. Look at this shit.
Go get that one.
So the shit is, all my neighbors are fucking cursing me out. Damn. Yo, I felt that. Dude, I felt my whole body.
You can hear car alarms going off in the background, children crying.
Get away from me.
Shot number 3.
Was that the last
Look at
one?
this
Is
shit.
that why he went inside?
Go get that one.
So the shit is, all my neighbors are fucking cursing me out. Damn. Yo, I felt that.
I think I heard his wife or somebody say, "That's it, no more."
Dude, I felt my whole body.
Get away from me.
I don't know what I'd do in that circumstance, to be completely honest. Yell at my neighbor, I guess? I don't know what else there is to do.
Молодец.
Молодец какой.
Молодец. Пока.
I guess I should clarify. This is a... In the translation, it says a crow, but I'm pretty sure that's a raven. Or is that a crow? Just seems so It seems big to be a crow, but it seems small to be a raven a little bit. But it's a Russian, whatever it is.
Сейчас очень много снимается сказок. Харуш, ты меня перебиваешь. Ты в курсе?
Конечно.
Конечно.
I guess it's big enough to be a raven. It looks smaller from the other angle.
Молодец.
Молодец какой.
Молодец. Пока.
Молодец.
Сейчас очень много снимается сказок. Харуш, ты меня перебиваешь.
The main differences between crows and ravens are size, tail shape, beak, and sound. Ravens are significantly larger than crows, have a wedge-shaped tail, a heavier, more curved beak. So yeah, I think this is a raven. I think I am right. And a deep croaking call. Crows are smaller, with a fan-shaped tail, a slimmer beak, and a higher-pitched caw sound.
Перебиваешь. Ты в курсе?
Конечно.
Конечно.
It starts laughing at the end, and it honestly kind of the part that made me so interested is the way that the birds have accents too, because they're picking up on like the dialects and the languages of the surrounding areas. And I guess you just don't you don't think about it that much, that animals really do sound different depending on where you are, and that's why we all have different like onomatopoeias for animal noises too. Like in Japanese, meow is nyan, and that's why it's nyan cat.
Молодец.
Молодец какой.
Молодец. Пока.
Молодец.
Сейчас очень много снимается сказок. Харуш, ты меня перебиваешь. Ты в курсе?
Конечно.
Конечно.
Ravens and crows are super intelligent. You can they'll remember you. They will remember you. You can train them to a degree. I don't think it's like that great of training, but you know, you can get somewhere with it, which is good. For like, if you're gonna get a bird, if I was gonna get a bird, I'd probably want a raven. Get a bird that can talk to me. I'm smarter now for watching, of course, always. That's the whole point of this. We're becoming more intelligent. It's not about just looking at cool birds. But yeah, so Russian raven. Oh, I guess a trigger warning. Body modification. Body modification, goddammit, I was showing it a little bit too. Treat this next section as a radio show if you care about body modifications and they make you somewhat ill, because this next body mod is I was about to say a septum gauge. A septum gauge would be better. This is a bridge gauge. I've never seen someone in my life gauge their bridge piercing. And for those of you who don't know what a bridge piercing is, oh, it is the I guess you'd consider that the base of your nose where it meets towards your eyes. Not the tip of your nose, but towards the base where it protrudes from your skull outward between your eyebrows. This is quite possibly the most, like, I've looked at when people get donut foreheads, you know, when they put silicone in their forehead and then like push it in so that it makes a donut shape. I think this is crazier. I think this is crazier than people getting like little horn implants, stuff like that. My buddy was trying to convince me that they were feeding us raven at a Chinese restaurant. I didn't believe him, but I ended up eating crow. Hey, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one, but that's a racist. Any restaurant could be eating crow. You know how many times I've gone to KFC and wondered if it was fucking quail that they caught outside? It is the truth. You ever wonder if you're eating rat and eating a piece of chicken, or like a piece of fried fish or something, and you're like, this doesn't seem right. Sorry to be a bummer, but this is SFX and not stretched. Well, I'd hope so. I really hope you're right. Because I don't know. Like, obviously, this caption is just, like, bullshit. But I don't know why there's all this Chinese writing anyways. I think you're probably right, though, yeah. The body is very malleable. You can do a lot of things. Ugh. I hope so, too. It looks painful. I willingly eat gas station food in Mississippi, so I've eaten probably worse shit than most ethnic restaurants. It doesn't matter what they're serving you. Eating a backwater town and you know you're eating some possum or raccoon. You want a kebab? It's raccoon. The hot dogs are just happen to be possum. What's the problem? But yes. May or may not be real. You know what, H? I mean, I have friends who's a piercer, and she's shown me people who have attempted to stretch a bridge, and it rejects pretty much immediately. Okay. I'll just take your word for it, because I've never seen anything like this either. So I'll just assume that it's fake. I mean, I guess I could just look it up, right? Bridge gauging. That bridge nose gauging. Do. And I guess I imagine even if you were to bridge it slightly, there's no way you'd. I guess you're probably right. There's no way that you could stretch it to this degree. Holy shit, Cap, in your head, what happened? Wait, what are you talking about? Oh my god! I'll keep calm. Oh god. How did this happen? Wasn't there a lady who got like a machete to her head or something, or like a meat cleaver to the back of her head, and she went to the ER and was like, I have a headache. What happened? No, yeah, I'm literally not seeing any bridge gauging though, and I think because after thinking about it for more than a second, I think you're right that even if you were to try and do it slightly, like you maybe could size up, like probably not even. You could probably size up maybe one what I forget what they are, millimeters, whatever it is, but yeah, I think it would probably reject pretty quickly. Body gonna say no. Ouchie, ouchie. Take the knife out or leave it in? Well, they tell you if you get stabbed, you shouldn't remove the knife and you should go to the doctor to get it removed. Because you'll just die from blood loss. There's a little something for you, a little knowledge for you. If you're ever stabbed, leave the knife in. If you're ever the person doing the stabbing, make sure you keep your knife. That's not an encouragement to violently attack people. It is merely a encouragement for self-defense. But now we will move on to the ghost stories, the important part. Ghost stories, starting with the Dunkster, Dunky and Leah. I think this is gonna be trash every time I pull it up. So maybe I should do this. This should be the one that's on top. And that way I just have to get rid of that each time. Oh, that'll make it easier for sure. Okay, we're gonna do that. So this first one is from Dunky and Leah. From a video game Dunky.
Do you guys have any ghost stories?
Oh, ghost
Paranormal
stories.
encounters?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Do you have one?
You go first.
Let's hear
Okay,
some
I'll go
ghosts.
first. Okay,
Spooky.
well,
Spooky alert.
I have like two, but okay, they're not, I wouldn't say they're like ghosts, just like paranormal kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first one is like just kind of more personal to me. I don't know if it's like evidence of any sort of paranormal stuff, but yeah. So basically, when I was about 11 or 12, I think,
Mhm.
I was in bed and I was like about to fall asleep and I was laying with my back to the wall. So like I was facing the edge of the bed that was like out to the room, you know? So I like opened my eyes for some reason and right in front of my face, like 2 inches away, I saw like a big statue guy. I would describe it like kind of a tiki head, but like also kind of like Easter Island heads, if you know those statues.
Yeah.
And he was just like staring at me, and I was like so scared, I just like froze. And then he just said, "I'll be back."
Oh God.
And I like rolled over and like hid under the blanket. And
He looked at me and said, "Dum dum, give me gum gum." Oh. I love sending the emoji of this. When you send the emoji of this to somebody when they're saying something dumb, you just go like, "Bro." It's such a fun. I mean, it is just such a fun. Why the long face? What's the matter, buddy?
like,
What?
yeah, I was just like frozen until I fell asleep, I guess. But yeah.
Oh
That
my
happened
God.
just one time.
Yeah,
So he
just
hasn't
the
been back
once.
yet.
And that's the thing. So for me, I like have it in my head. Like I'm
You're
sure
waiting.
my brain like conjured it up, but it could do it again. So I could see him again. And
I've
that's
heard
the scary
stuff.
thing.
Huh.
He's a liar.
He'll be back.
freaking
He
liar.
might still be back though. So it's haunting me. It's like a ghost for me.
So that's
That's
stuff like that's
crazy.
actually happened to me. Not like that intense, but
It was
sometimes
intense, yeah.
I'll wake up from dreaming, and it's like your dream juice is left over in your brain, and you can like hallucinate
Yeah.
as if you were still dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was something like that.
You got dream juiced.
But it could happen again.
Does it feel like it was paranormal to you?
Like it did at the time. I was like, I know I saw it. Like I told my parents and everything. I was like, I know he was there. Like I saw this guy. It was like
my
it
gosh.
was like a stone statue in
That's
my room.
horrifying.
But yeah, now I know it was just like, you know, I was sleeping or whatever. But because my brain like made
Don't let Ethan gaslight you. You saw a ghost. You saw an Easter Island head ghost.
it up, I could just do it again. So
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
it
true.
could just come back. He'll
you'll be
back.
ready this time.
Will I? I don't know.
You feel
So
like
yeah.
you just dream juice. God damn it,
I'll protect you.
you
man.
tiki ass.
He'll protect
Yeah.
me. Yeah, now I have him.
Yeah, there you go.
He'll
Well,
go
what are your
break
ghosts?
the statue.
None.
Ghosts aren't real.
Oh.
All right, so he'll
Spoiler.
protect you. He'll be fine.
Okay, yeah.
I just didn't know what
He
kind of
doesn't
baggage he
believe in
had.
ghosts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my other one is more like aliens, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's good too.
that works too. Aliens? Tell us.
Yeah, aliens. Okay.
Ghosts and aliens?
I've seen it all, okay.
Donkey's like, I thought I knew you. he's like, I thought I knew you, and now you're telling me all this shit. You're crazy. You're an insane person. They're real, Donkey. Prove the negative. Prove that they're not.
Yeah, okay, so this one was more recent. It was when I was like going to school in Arizona, college, and I was like flying home for winter break or something, and I was just getting up. We were like at the full height, you know, for the rest of the flight, you know, we were way up. And I looked out the window and there was like this black, it was like a blimp, I feel like, but it was really shiny. So it was kind of like a Zeppelin, but it didn't have wings. It was just kind of like coasting along, and it was going faster than our airplane.
What?
It was moving like kind of in the same direction as us, like a slightly different angle, but it was going faster than the plane. I was like, what is that like blimp going so fast?
But it was nighttime.
What shape was it?
It was daytime. It
And
was
a
like
black
the
blimp.
sun was like really shiny on it. Yeah. So that confused
That's
me
spooky.
a lot.
That's a
Some
weird
spooky
one.
action.
Yeah. But I'm like, you know, the logical part of me is like, well, if they're flying an airplane, they know everything, like what's flying up here with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, it can't be anything like too crazy. But I don't know. It was really fast.
I
and
wish
really
I saw
high
cool
up.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And Jason, alien encounters?
Aliens aren't real, guys. Let's just stop talking about aliens because none of it's real.
Aliens are real. They have to be real.
See, the question isn't if aliens are real or if there is other life outside of Earth. The question is, what is that life? And I guess the bigger question is that life of any intelligence? And it's fine if you want to just say no. That's cool. If that's your argument. But, I don't know. I think that there's something out there. There's something out there that we don't understand. And whether that's aliens or just the government at play, there's some shit going on. There's some shit out there. And based on ghosts, it doesn't matter if I mean, here's the thing. It's inconclusive. But the government, the US government was doing testing on what did they call it? Because it was basically astral projection, but they called it like remote viewing, where basically they wanted people, like, while they were sleeping to like separate themselves from their body and then go and like look over different areas and be able to like give them maps of different locations. And it was inconclusive because sometimes it did work, sometimes it didn't, and then they were like, well, if it did work, they could have looked up the Ural Mountains and then memorized the Ural Mountains and drawn it on a map for you. And it's like, yeah, they could have, but that's, I mean, I guess there needs to be more testing, but if that was true, if there was at least one person that could astral project, I mean, that does at least give some credence to the idea of a soul. Just saying. And so there needs to be more testing because it's inconclusive. But where do I rank this? I realize that this is off the thing. There we go. Donkey. So this is how I'm kind of ranking it. So it starts at spoopy. We got S is for spoopy. Truly scary stories that if it happened to me, I would be convinced of ghosts and I would be horrified. That's what I'm putting in S tier. A is like, it's a good story, but it's not necessarily that that believable. It's a good story, but I don't know if it's ghosts. B, we're getting out of the realm of scary or even believable. We're just, it's nothing. It's just a story at this point. And then C, I'm gonna keep in. So B is like this story is something that you believe in, something that happened to you, but it's not really ghosts. Let's say that. It's more than likely not ghosts. And then C is it's goofy. Too funny to be anything. Too funny to be even a ghost story. You're just goofing around. D is not believable at all. You probably just made this up. E is I have an explanation. Here is the explanation for the story. See, D and E are the hardest because E is we have an explanation. D is we don't have an explanation, but it's just not true. C is we're laughing. B is it's kind of believable, but not really. A is it's kind of believable. This might have happened, but it's not a scary story. S is I'm horrified. I just outlined that right now. I did not think about this before at all. I would say this is probably in C tier because it's kind of a goofy story. There's not much to it. She saw an Easter Island head. And then possibly a blimp, possibly a weather balloon. Who knows? She said it was moving fast, though, so I don't know. Maybe not. But she saw something. We'll give her that. MK Ultra. No, it wasn't MK Ultra. It was a different thing. I don't remember if it was before or after MK Ultra, actually. I think it was after MK Ultra. You want to know what's interesting? MK Ultra actually happened just a few years after Operation Paperclip. Where they took the Nazi administration into the different governmental forces of the Americas, of the not the Americas, of the United States. But you get what I'm saying. When they added them all in, and not just the United States, you know, they added them around, but right after they took a couple of their scientists, they decided to do MK Ultra. Seems a little interesting to me. Seems a little bit interesting, don't we think? Drug testing? But I'm gonna put this in C. You think this Love Sabra? Yeah, sorry, Alex. I didn't add the Love Sabra to this list. I just took the image from the tier list website, gotta be honest. She saw the boneless pizza head? What the hell does that even mean? Boneless pizza head. Are you talking about Aku? Is it Aku Aku? Are they using Aku Aku as boneless pizza head? I've never seen this before in my life. It's Aku Aku though from Crash Bandicoot. I'd be pretty scared if I saw that in my dreams, I gotta be honest.
Ghost stories.
So this is Ghost Stories with Post Malone and Joji.
Ghost stories. What are your ghost stories?
This guy, he lived in this house. He lived in a house not too far from me.
Where?
In Grapevine, Texas.
Okay.
I would go over there every once in a while. I can chronologically tell you everything that happened until the last time that I went there because I was not fucking with it.
This is some Blair Witch shit.
No, this is literally the most terrifying shit.
I can't wait. I'm glued.
We were talking about this. We need to go full chest cam into like an abandoned asylum and see what's going on.
Austin had this idea that we go to a spooky. I thought you were talking about like a spook house, but you want to go to an actual haunted place. I'm so down. Show me.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't believe. I'm not a believer.
You're not.
No, not at all.
Okay, so
I'm scared. I'm a believer.
Are you a believer?
Yeah. Well, you know, I believe in like demons and shit.
I think negative energy and
do you believe in demons, like in a religious sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you believe in?
I mean, the whole idea is like a demon would just be like a bad spirit, right? Regardless of what. If you're talking about like a demon or like I literally just had another name in my head and then completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that kind of pisses me off. Whatever, I don't care. Demons or other demons. But yeah, I think that if you grow up in like a spiritual or like, you know, religious family or household, you'll more than likely just feel an inclination toward spirituality, and in that will believe, even if you aren't necessarily religious, will believe in some kind of like bad spirits, evil spirits that can manifest in some way, whether it's corporeally or in like a metaphysical sense.
And angels?
I don't.
How can you have demons
Only
without
the
angels?
negative stuff.
That's true.
No, I think negative. I think
Only the
negative shit in
negative
itself is very powerful.
Only the negative ones. They're the ones that bother me.
I think negativity in the world is very powerful. Like, if you're a negative person, negative shit's gonna happen to you.
Well, the negative stuff's what has the impact.
I'm religious, and I think demons are things like racism and bigotry, etc. I mean, yeah, I think that if you take like the like, I think that's like what they're supposed to be in like old religious texts as well, is like they're what drives you towards negative action. They're the driving force towards your negative thought. It's not the real you. Don't listen to it, type of thing. But yeah, but even back in those historic times, they were like, "Hey, slavery's cool though. That's not demons. Slavery and racism and bigotry, those weren't the demons." But I think that if you do the legwork to actually try and think of what is like it's hard to say that things are objectively bad. Like, I don't necessarily think of like objective morality, but I guess it would be the difference in like thinking that the actions themselves are wholly bad versus the intents and purposes of implication put on them by like people, and the difference in our in that and like the drive for it. But I don't know. Demons, am I right? We are the demons. You ever think about that?
If there's angels, then they're just doing their job, and you don't know.
It's just like the news. If something bad happens, that's what they're gonna fucking.
That's what you
report on.
remember. I'll get 1,000 comments on YouTube. 98% of them are like wonderful, kind people, but it's the 2% that it like sticks out and bother me. Right?
You're ugly. Damn.
That shit gets me every time. Ethan, you're ugly.
Nice fupa, Ethan.
Oh man.
Got him.
That gets me every time.
Okay, so the first night I went there, his dad was like a contractor or something. Lived in a very nice big house. So you walk in, there's the big living area, and he has like 30-foot ceilings, I want to say.
Okay.
Very high, maybe 20, I don't remember.
High ceiling.
Very high ceiling. So, and then you walk in, there's a winding staircase that takes you up to the top deck. So there's a ledge right here, and here's the living room. And up here was kind of like a recreational zone,
Got it.
if you will.
That overlooks.
That overlooks the
You go
living
up
room.
the stairs. You have a recreational area that overlooks the entrance.
Yeah.
It's called a loft.
Got it.
20-foot ceilings. So I'm up there and I'm sleeping. It's like,
Am I wrong? Isn't that literally just called a loft? I think I'm right, yeah.
late at night
In
or
the
early
recreational
in the
area.
morning. Yeah, because they just had a couch out there. It was my first time staying there.
Got it.
Now get this, as a precursor to everything, the whole family, the mom, the dad, and the two sons locked themselves in their room together every night.
What?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder you're scared shitless. That's a horrible way to like.
Yeah.
They have their own rooms, but they lock themselves in a room together.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Did they-
I just assume because of how terrifying the fucking house is.
Did
my
they?
Do locks keep ghosts
Did they?
out?
They bought the
I don't
house
know, but
knowing.
if you're together, like if you're together, I feel like that's you
it's way scarier.
you feel way better.
Right. But they bought the house.
I think when you're with people, it's not just the feeling of being of safety. It's it's also like a feeling of like it's not necessarily coming from the safety, it's coming from not having to go through the experience alone, like having somebody to corroborate your experience. In a sense, I feel like that's kind of the bigger thing that the comfort that you get given, because nobody can tell you that you were lying or that you're making it up or that it's not true if somebody else sees it happen. And they can tell your story if you get Blair Witched.
House knowing that it was like.
Or I guess they wouldn't tell your story if you got Blair Witched, because they would get Blair Witched too, and the footage would tell your story, but whatever.
I think it was built. I think they
Wow.
built it.
They built it, and
Dude,
they how can you build a
Haunted house.
and yeah, because
It needs
like,
I guess what it's on.
yeah, you
I
need
guess
someone
what
to
it's
like
on.
die in it first, and like you
Exactly.
need some
Or
build
just
up.
whatever's around. Like
I don't think Oliver Tree ever told us a ghost story. Well, I mean, it's on this list. Ghost stories with Oliver Tree. But I have a feeling his isn't going to be a whole lot.
either like
Indian burial ground.
yeah,
shit.
I mean shit like that.
Right.
You know, without overgeneralizing it and too
That's the
cliche.
classic.
Exactly.
So, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
But
I don't really believe in demons, but I'm also nervous to say that. Yeah, I think that you should hold some kind of it's like if you're gonna hold skepticism, it should be a skepticism in both regards, right? I don't necessarily believe or have faith in anything, right? But if I believe that, I think if you can believe that anything's possible, you have to also believe that there is a possibility that you are also a fake. You are part of a faux reality, and that everything you experience has just been part of this faux reality. Every experience up until this point could all just be a fabrication of some fake cognition. So I think it's good to have some kind of a general hope towards something that gives you a kind of ease of mind. Because here's what I've always said: your faith can be broken. Someone can prove you wrong, and all of a sudden your faith is destroyed. But you can't get rid of my hope. I hope that when I die, there's some kind of a reincarnation, because I don't think that there's a way that I can experience enough to be worthy of a heaven or hell through one lifetime. And you can't tell me anything that could change that, because I just hope for it. That's what I hope for. I don't know if I necessarily know that to be the case or have faith that that's going to happen, but God damn it, I hope.
I guess that was the actual setting of Poltergeist. It was a new house on an Indian burial ground.
They just fucked with something.
Right, yeah.
So it could be.
So the first night I was sleeping on the couch, and like, so say if you dropped a bowling ball on a marble floor, that sound that it would make
Just
in
a
a big ass
shatter,
house, just
a
a
boom.
huge fucking like boom. I heard that on the underneath me. So like so the ceilings are 20 foot high. I want you to tell me how that fucking happens. Randomly, it woke me up, and I was like, bro.
So that's happened to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I go back to like this. What's more likely? A fucking haunted
So I'm
house?
trying to understand this right now, because I think the first time I heard this story, I was confused. So he's saying he was sleeping up in the loft, and then it sounded underneath him like a bowling ball hit, but he's not saying it hit on the ground underneath. He's saying it sounded like it was underneath him in these like 20-foot ceilings. That's what he's saying. Interesting.
House, or maybe like a picture fell or something.
It was underneath me. I felt it.
But also,
Was there
It
a
was like,
floor
so it's like
underneath?
someone dropped a bowling ball on the floor, but onto the ceiling.
but also you were sleeping.
I'm not really worried about what happens after I die, I guess. Maybe that's because I figure we all just go lights out. You know, I heard it explained once, and I thought it was interesting, because this isn't like telling you to believe in God or something, but it's just, if you think about it, there's a lot more to lose in being an atheist than just following at least one religion. Because if you follow at least one religion, there's a chance that that religion is right. But if you follow no religions, there's a chance still that one of those religions was right, and then you have no chance of having been correct in your philosophy. Because if you believe in a Christian that believes in something and dies and there's nothing afterwards, they lose nothing, because there's nothing. There's nothing to lose. But if you do end up going to hell, then you've lost on a hell of a lot. And again, this isn't like an encouragement to become religious or anything, but I just think these are kind of interesting philosophical thought experiments to run by yourself. Because like I'm saying, I just have hope for stuff. I have hope for some kind of a something greater. I don't know if a deity is the right word for it, because even if it is just a hive mind that we all share, and we are all one or whatever, that whole DMT shit that people talk about, maybe that's it. Who knows? Maybe we all die and we fly on the back of some turtle bird. It's all possible. You never know. Maybe worshiping the spaghetti guy, maybe worshiping the spaghetti aliens or whatever is actually the right way. But what if Satan is the good guy, then you win, LOL. Well, I think if I don't mean to just get into more of a theological discussion, because I think in a Satanist perspective, they think of it as well, because what's the whole concept too of God damn it, because I wasn't thinking of Satanism anymore. I started thinking of the whole concept of like a demiurge, and like God being an evil demiurge. Is that right? The demiurge? Creator figure originating in Greek philosophy and adopted in Gnosticism. In Platonic philosophy, it's divine artisan who fashions the physical world from pre-existent matter using eternal forms as a blueprint, resulting in the word. In Gnostic tradition, the demiurge is often a subordinate, ignorant, and sometimes malevolent deity who is at odds with the true supreme God and is responsible for creating the flawed material world that imprisons spiritual beings. So we are like in the Gnostic philosophy at the behest of this evil demiurge, and then the act of Satan as an adversary would be the hero in like the Satanist. And that's not like Gnostic tradition, but I'm just saying like in the scheme of like using Gnostic philosophy for Satanist tradition. And so I don't know if that would necessarily make it like what that would make of a heaven and hell, but that is another possibility, right? You never know, you know? You never know, you know?
Sleeping, so maybe it was.
That's true. Okay, but well, I'll keep on going. I'll keep on going.
Yeah, keep going.
The stream is definitely going to run late after the podcast, but I have to finish this. So feel free to come back later and watch it again. So we're going to continue though.
So we'd go there, and I went home after that. I came back the weekend after. I was in school. I was like 14, and we knew that some crazy shit was going on. We heard what Danny said. Yeah, we heard. We were like,
yes, Pascal's wager. Thank you.
Spooked also.
Yeah, they were like, this shit is crazy. You know, like, oh yeah.
Thanks, Zach.
And so we sit down, and then we hear like a noise, like a stomp, like a boom right behind us. And then we're like, oh shit, okay, we know it's creepy, but let's figure it out. Like, let's see what's going on. And then we were like, okay, let's keep on playing. I broke my cigarette.
We were rapping about that last night.
Yeah, I know, broke my cigarette. But let's keep on playing. And then it gets fucking closer. And then we're just like, okay, fuck this. We go into the corner, hang out all night. The cat sounds like she's getting thrown against the wall,
make
dying.
Things scarier.
Like dying, like going crazy, like all that shit.
Okay.
And we stayed up until the next morning where our parents could come and pick us up. And then the next time we went there, I was determined to fucking figure shit out.
Okay.
I was like, okay, let's get to the bottom of this
Right,
shit.
right.
So I downloaded a white noise machine.
What is that?
It's like it just plays static at different frequencies.
What's the purpose?
So
Well, you
like
can hear
maybe
shit.
you might get like a disembodied voice or something.
Wait, what? What's the theory behind that?
They do that shit with the radios.
Yeah,
you,
it's like
get
you change the frequencies and they can.
You're
'cause
hearing what's in the.
Yeah, like it's
Got it.
probably like it could be bullshit.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
I
Like,
was I'm a
yeah, you
kid.
were
I
scared.
just was trying.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm
And
just
so-
trying to understand
so-
what that is.
So we
Never
went
heard.
upstairs and I got my white noise machine. I turned it on. We went upstairs. I started feeling like sick, like literally like the sickest I could ever fucking be. Like
Just
I
out of
felt-
nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. I felt like I had like the worst headache. I was cold as fuck. It felt like the flu.
You had cold shivers.
Yeah,
flu.
I felt like I had the flu.
Okay.
And I've never like felt that bad in my life. And we went and sat down in a room and fucking did the white noise and we didn't hear shit. Nothing happened. And whenever I went downstairs, I felt completely better. And I'm not even like, this shit is really fucking crazy. And I know I wish you guys were there. And I know it's hard to believe.
That's
and this next part's
fascinating.
the fucking kicker.
Okay.
And this is the craziest shit that's ever fucking happened to me in my whole entire life. So they had, because you met Preston.
Yeah.
He's the guy that put me onto your stuff. He's a crazy motherfucker.
Okay.
He was there too, and my friend Jason was there
That's
too.
the guy I met briefly at your house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The
Great.
drunkie guy. Love you, Preston.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
And he was telling me about all the shit that they would catch on the cameras at the house, and all the shit that Danny would tell him about and shit. And he said that. So there's a big house. The house is huge. There's a winding driveway. Here's the gate. Here's a pond, and all around it is woods. So all around it is woods. And he said they would see people walking along the edge of the
Weird.
woods,
That's creepy.
like white, like
White-
bright people.
It's a Wendigo.
White Walkers.
Like, I mean,
Some straight Game of
Exactly.
Thrones shit.
like that.
That's terrifying.
And the dogs, the neighbor's dogs, he had hella dogs. Like, just like 15 dogs. No, I wouldn't say 15, 5.
The fuck? What kind of weird ass
And they
house
would
is it?
and they would bark. They started barking crazy, like sounded like they were dying. So
Did this just get weird? Like the editing fuck up?
we go outside and fucking look, and we don't
It's
see
so weird. The audio's all fucked up on this now. It just all of a sudden got like out of sync.
anything, and then we go fucking inside, and then we're fucking still looking at the window and shit, and there's fucking like 4 people on the edge of the woods just fucking sitting there, like for all night.
But they're like white.
They're like white. Yeah, but they were solid.
That was a weird glitch that happened. I don't know. I guess because it corrected itself, they didn't feel like fixing it in the clip.
Solid, like they're
So
like
wait,
solid.
they never moved.
No, they'd stay there all night.
Is it possible that it just was like the lighting and the tree? Like, do you think if you went out there, maybe it would make sense if you looked at it more closely?
I wasn't gonna go out.
But like, my point is like maybe it was just a weird like.
Maybe.
Illusion.
All I know is that was the most terrifying place that I've ever been to, and ever since then I was a believer in that type of shit.
Wow.
It's really
I'm waiting to see it. I'm waiting for.
So I've never experienced anything like that, but I'd like to because I want to know. I want to relate.
It's so creepy though.
I tried to go in Seattle, but all the places we went to were shut down. Like they got demolished and shit.
What's your stories, George?
I don't have. I'm fortunate enough to not have those stories, but like I hear stories from like close friends who would have like no reason to lie.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I have a close friend who he was when he was young, he was bathing with his sister. Right. You know how like kids do that. Yeah. And
not Gary Coleman, different strokes.
Yeah.
But.
And the baby sister would point to the edge of the bathtub and be like, "There's another baby covered in blood." And she would say that every time they went in the bathtub, you know. And it's just like weird shit like that. Like children are scary too.
Yeah,
children
I think they're more exact.
They
like,
accepting. I'm very skeptical.
Exactly. They're the exact opposite of you. They will sit there and be like, "Wow, this is." I don't have any other reasoning for that. Yeah.
Okay. So I did separate them. George's story, I think we'll do first because honestly, I gotta say, Joji, George Miller, Filthy Frank. I think we gotta put it at E. It's our first E. It's not really much of a story. You should have just said the no. That's why Donkey is just with Leah, because he was like, nah, that shit ain't real. I guess maybe it's D, because it doesn't necessarily have an explanation as to why this baby was saying this, but I don't necessarily believe it because it's a secondhand source. You were the one telling it to us, so I'm gonna just throw it in D. Let me know if that needs to change or if I should just take Joji off the. Should I take Joji off of it completely? I'm pretty sure my son remembers his past life. Please divulge in chat. Let us know. What has he talked about? They had a cutout where Post Malone randomly started bashing Ryan Kavanaugh. They had to cut out where Post Malone randomly started bashing Ryan Kavanaugh. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Imagine. The hate runs deep. I loved this picture I found of Post Malone. It's a pretty good one. But where are we going to put this? His story. I think if it happened to me, I would be pretty scared. But like Ethan's saying, it could be like light reflections and stuff. He didn't necessarily see an actual ghost. Like, that's when it becomes like, he was saying, again, his is like secondhand a little bit too, where he was saying that they would see people at the edge of the forest, and then he just heard a loud bang and slept in the parents' room for some reason. They all slept in the same room together, slept in the loft. He was a sailor in the Navy or something, and he's told me he died at sea. That is interesting. You got to do that one. There's that one story. Was that ever like? Did they ever like just prove that was fake? Where it was like that girl was born and she was like, "I used to live in this town. This was my name," and then they found like a woman that had that name or whatever, and like found her husband who was still alive. And then when the little girl went to the town, this man was like, "No, that's my wife." A little girl reborn. reincarnated wife. Trying to find it. What? This was like a popular story I remember seeing when I was a kid. Come on. Don't do me dirty now. Child remembers past life. This is gonna piss me off now. Okay, whatever. I can't get hung up on this. This isn't even like part of the... It was an interesting story. I'll see if I can find it another time. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow if I can find it. I think I'm gonna put Post Malone in A though. Because I gotta be honest, his is a good story, but he heard a loud noise. He heard a loud bang. Maybe there was like a deer that was running through the woods and slammed into the side of the house. You know, you never know. There is a possibility that this was just your mind playing tricks on you. Maybe you were you were in and out of sleep, and you know it was just a loud noise that you thought you were hearing, but it was really just something in a dream. So we got to just put this in A. If it happened to me, I would actually be terrified. The whole getting sick thing, again, it's anomalous. But you could say that it's because you had anxiety, you kind of like placebo affected yourself in a way. Have I told the update on my ghost story? I realized I had an update on my ghost story, about my family's ghost story. But I don't know if I've told it in chat yet. Let me know. You remember the story I'm talking about? Less about the sea. Wait, sorry. You have any weird knowledge of the sea or boats or something, lol? Less about the sea, but he talks about how he had kids himself and he knew me, but I wasn't me as I am now. Tells me random things about how he used to do this and that. I think that story was on that show hosted by Riker from TNG. This is a fire station, not a PlayStation. Best line in TV ever. See, I have heard this a lot, and it's like, you know, maybe kids maybe have wild imaginations, but it is odd at the very least. But we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna put Post Malone in A. I haven't told my story. Here, I'll give my update. We'll give my story real quick, and then you guys can decide where my story goes. So I've told the story before. We'll start from my story, then the story with my dad, and then this new story that my sister has. So when I was a child, I think I was still in elementary school. I don't even think I had made it to middle school yet. So I was still in somewhere under 5th grade. I think I was maybe 11 or 12. I was something like that. And I was in my bed and I was asleep and I was having a dream. And you know how like most of the time when you're having those dreams where you fall into bed? I don't remember what dream I was having, but it was the feeling of falling into bed, except I was legitimately like hovering, like maybe I had stood up or something. But I was looking across at my closet door, the closet door on the wall. So my bed is against one of the walls, and then I'm like floating up. So the bed's here, I'm floating up almost completely to be able to see the closet door in front of me, and then I fall back into my bed and I feel it hard, and I fall into my bed hard, and I get up and pop up really quick, and as I sit up, there is what appears to be the like an apparition of a little girl standing in my room, and as my eyes lock onto her, she disappears into the ground and like, you know, flies into the ground and disappears. And I am a little bit scared. I'm like, oh, yeah, oh my God, what just happened? And then I decide to go back to bed. I'm like, fuck this, I'm going back to bed. Roll over, go back to sleep. Forget about it for a few years, you know, don't really think about it. Don't think about this ghost. And then one day I'm sitting on the couch. I think I'm playing video games or something. My dad's making dinner. And my sister walks in. And my sister walks in and my dad goes, "Oh, I thought I just saw you go in the laundry room. I thought I saw a white dress, a white skirt." And I went, "What did you just say?" And he went, "Yeah, I just thought I saw her walk into the laundry room." And I was like, "No, what did you just say she was wearing?" And he said, "I thought she was wearing a white skirt or something." And my sister was wearing blue jeans. My mom wasn't home, my mom was at work. So we go to the laundry room, and the laundry room door's open, and the garage door's unlocked. And like I just said, my mom was at work, so maybe she left the door unlocked, but it all kind of was a real creepy, all added up. And then years pass again, and this happened just a few weeks ago. My sister calls me kind of early in the morning. It's maybe or I guess it wasn't too early. It happened to her earlier in the morning, though. So she calls me, I think, at 8 or 9. And then she tells me about what happened at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't want to say it was 3 a.m. because I don't remember exactly what she said. So I don't want to be it was the witching hour. But it was really early in the morning before she would have gotten up. And she got up for some reason, got out of bed. And I don't know if she said she thought she heard a noise or what, but she went to her closet door, and when she opened the closet, she said she saw a little girl standing there. And she stared at her, but she was kind of almost confused because she knew she was still kind of half awake. And she said she saw this little girl standing in her closet, and she walked over to the light to turn the light on, and when she turned the light on, the girl was gone. And it completely disappeared. And she said that she was real scared and just tried to go back to sleep after that because it was so early. And that's my updated story. What do you guys rate that? Is it true? Are we all hallucinating? Is this a family delusion? To answer late about Halloween costumes, I had zero plans to dress up, but now I might have to, so my last minute decision is to go as a haunted doll in my Teddy Fresh bear dress. Nice. We have a lot more to get through. God damn it, I'm taking too long. We're going through too many stories, but that's my ghost story, so that's why that one took a minute, because I had to tell mine. Ian Heacock.
Do you guys have any ghost stories? That's got to be the thing we ask all of our guests now.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts? First of all, let's start high level. No.
Oh,
I don't
totally forgot to add Markiplier.
Either. Do you?
I didn't until.
Here we go.
Okay, Markiplier didn't have one, so I'll leave him off the list.
Everyone's got good ghost stories. I love it.
Until a friend of mine sees a lot of them.
Okay, he's like the Bruce Willis
just
kid.
Yeah, and
that was the worst reference ever.
And it's it's fucking creepy, and obviously they don't enjoy it. Because it's very unsettling, and sometimes they say they see just sometimes they'll see a part of a person, or it'll be a shadow. But there's one specific one.
Let's go.
That so they lived near a really old cemetery, really old, because they're not from California. So cemeteries, they go back several hundred years. And they were in their bed, and they saw this bright light. And they look out the window, and there's this child just standing in the driveway, wearing these old old-timey clothes, 1800s clothes, maybe early 1900s clothes. And then and then the kid just looked up at them, and they were like, "Fuck that shit," and just closed the blinds.
What? That's crazy.
Same time.
Maybe he was trick-or-treating. Did you ever think about that?
No.
The next year, same date.
Same exact time. What?
Happened again. Same kid.
He's just fucking with him, man. He knew this was going to be a perfect prank, so he got your friend.
What?
Do you remember the date?
No.
It was Halloween.
Do some research.
But they're saying
Yeah, and sometimes they'll appear like during like certain times of the day. Like there's more.
Do we have a thumbnail yet? We don't. H3 Halloween Spooktacular 2025 edition. Scary. Here, I'm gonna start the poll right now.
Or during this certain time of the night.
She's the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the person.
Yeah. I was like, do you ever like talk to them? Like, fuck no. Like, you don't want to invite that. But I never believed in it before. But then like
you see the
hearing all these
passion and
stories, I'm
conviction.
like, yeah.
See, that's the thing that trips me
Yeah.
out. Like, I've never had an encounter.
Yeah, me
but I
neither.
see how passionate and convicted people are about it. But I kind of do want to have an encounter.
Yeah.
Because it would really bend my whole understanding of the world.
Yeah, I've
That's
got
true.
one thing. It's not really a ghost thing, but it's just something that I could never really explain. It was when I was a child, so it might have just been the mind of a child. You know,
I have one thing
storing
like
things.
that as well.
I was sleeping. You know, I was dreaming,
Yeah.
and up until that point, what's weird is that my dreams were never that incredible. I had a lot of waking dreams. I have a lot of waking nightmares to this day. Like I have waking nightmares like once a week, and a lot of nightmares. in
You mean
general.
like, what is waking nightmare?
Waking nightmares is when you feel like you're trapped in your body.
A sleep paralysis?
Yeah, sleep paralysis.
Oh, I have that too. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
And then shadow people in the doorway, sort of thing.
Oh my goodness.
But when I was a kid, I was having this dream that somehow instantly, like a switch got flipped, and all of a sudden I was being chased. I didn't know how, I didn't know why I was being chased, and I just ran. Like it was a perfectly normal dream. And then I turned around and looked, and there was this huge lumbering guy with a chainsaw, like just chasing after me, and I knew he was gonna kill me and cut me up. So, dream, whatever. I wake up, totally fine, and I look up above my bed, and I just see his face. Clear as the dream face floating in the sky. Pull the covers over my.
I gotta add Markiplier just to throw him an E because that's just what we were talking about earlier. That was just your dream mind bringing something into your waking reality. That one's not real. Sorry, Mark.
My head. I can't see it when it's when I'm under the covers. I can't see it. Not there. Blinking eyes. Not close my eyes. Not there. Pull the sheets down. Still there.
No.
Looming over
Spook
me.
stories with Markiplier.
Looming over me.
So I've had stuff like that where I wake up from a dream and then I see stuff. And my theory on that is that like when you wake up, you still have like that residual dream chemicals in your brain.
Yeah.
So you're capable of like really intense hallucinations for like a short window after you wake up.
Yeah.
Or even before you're about to fall asleep.
It's true. Sometimes I'll wake up and then I like grab my phone or something, and then I'll kind of remember something that wasn't true, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Like you're kind of, I don't know.
You're just out of it.
Yeah, you're still out of it. You're not completely awake.
There's like a couple other stories that I have from other people too, because
I wanna hear
because
'em.
of like
Spook story minute.
So like because our YouTube Red movie was like a ghost kind of movie, so like I just offhandedly asked some people in the crew like, oh, do you guys have any ghost stories? And like one person, they saw on two separate occasions they saw it was like their mom, like they like woke up and their mom was like floating above them.
What, had her mom pass at that time?
Like literally like right before, like she saw them and then they got a call.
That
same thing happened to their friend
Before they got the call?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's like spooky ass shit. And then there's another. Yeah. Then there's another one.
That's a weird one.
This one wasn't a ghost thing.
I've
but
got goose pimples.
yeah, it's
whatever you
super
call it.
creepy.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, it's one of the ways.
But they said
Goosebumps.
like the person was like staring down. They looked very like content, and they said that was actually like strangely calming for them.
Huh.
But then this other one, Shane, who's a guy in our cast, when he was 2, so he doesn't remember any of this stuff. But basically, he fell into a pool, and he was drowning, and he was actually pronounced dead for a couple minutes.
Right.
Well,
I don't get that. How can you die? You don't. I know I've heard that all the time. People are like, oh yeah, I died for 5 minutes. You can't die. You don't die for.
Well, your heart
dead.
stops.
Yeah.
Well,
you're technically dead. I
Death
guess.
is a very strange definition.
death means
Yeah.
see ya. Like
Not
if you're,
always.
but if you're
Well, it's I mean, there's a lot of different types of death, right? Like brain dead versus having like a full body death, but then your mind is still working. Like and then if the mind is functioning, how far is it functioning, and is the other organs are functioning as well properly with or without assistance, and then if that assistance is viable to yeah, he's not wrong. What is death? How many people have been buried that are still in their mind? None, because they got embalmed.
Heart stops. That just means
In the past, though, might have just been digging some holes.
your heart stopped. There's a difference, right?
There's stages of death. Like there's death to where the point the body cannot be sustained. There's brain death. There's cell death. Like after you die.
So death does not mean you're smell you later.
Well, I mean,
okay. Because that's how I think about it.
Typically, if your heart stops, then the blood stops flowing to your brain, and then you die after a few minutes.
So your brain dies.
Yeah,
but your body carries on for a little bit, just a little bit.
Like brain activity. That's
no,
what I mean.
not brain. You're, like the rest of your body.
Just everything keeps ticking.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so
sorry.
he fell into this. He fell into the pool. He was drowning. His parents were having an argument or something in the house. They were like I think they're maybe like an apartment complex. So there's like a pool in the middle or something like that. Anyway, they're having an argument, and mid-argument, the mom hears a voice like shout his name, and she just drops everything and runs out to the pool and sees him, like drowning. So there was nobody else there. Like they were talking, and she heard a voice shout his name, and then she knew that something.
That's just mother's intuition. Mother's intuition just knows
was wrong, and then she ran out there.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
When I was a baby, when I was a little babu, I was actually born with pyloric stenosis, a rare medical condition that made me barf up my food. I could not eat. And I got surgery for it, and they were like, it's all better. And then I had a febrile seizure, and I was like, oh, God. And then I went to the hospital, and I had because of the febrile seizure, and I was doing better. Actually, I think it was before the febrile seizure, after the surgery. I don't know. I was a baby, so I've only been told these stories. But it was at some point my mom was watching over me after this when I was like recovering in the hospital, and my family, my extended family was like, oh, let's go out to eat. Let's he's fine. He's they have him in here. They're checking on him. And my mom was like, no, I'm gonna wait. And then I stopped breathing for a bit. And then they came and they got me. They fixed me right up. I don't think I ever died. But mother's intuition.
It's nuts.
Mommy knows. So true.
I really wish that I could have a personal experience, because I feel like I'm such a skeptical person.
Yeah, me too.
About religion and about ghosts and all this shit. It'd really blow my brain if I ever encountered something like that.
Yeah.
Although I wonder
who knows if it's ghosts or if it's like people are like, well, you die, but then there's still like energy, or who knows what exactly it is.
Yeah.
My thing.
It's something. I don't know.
I feel like
that we don't. I think that we don't know everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Me too. Yeah. By any means, that's true. But I feel like I would think that I was going crazy. I feel like I would blame myself before I'd be like, oh, ghosts. Do you relate to that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like your brain's faulty. You're hallucinating. Like,
yeah.
I'm a doubter myself. Like I would be like, oh, what's going on here? Come on now. Who's got the machine? What's that?
Right.
Yeah. So. I would love to have like a real encounter with a ghost. I would love to.
Yeah.
Convince me, ghosts. Please.
Me and Austin Post Malone were talking about, because he's like a real true believer, and so we want to go.
Does he see him?
He had some great stories.
Yeah, he had some stories.
Yeah, he's personally has some really great stories that he shared with us. We want to go to like a haunted spook house,
like a real one though.
I think honestly, they might be done with their stories. I think I'm gonna put. And I realized I can just continue this tomorrow, because tomorrow's Halloween. I know they're not streaming tomorrow, but I plan on streaming tomorrow, so I can just do a second part of this if I need to. I think both of these are going in E, though. Neither of them had their own story. They were both just just telling us other people's stories that also weren't that good and could probably be explained by something pretty simple. Like, Ian's story was literally, there was a little kid in someone's driveway. I'm gonna die by it. It was Halloween. I know for a fact I was there. I had a nightmare, then woke up from it straight into sleep paralysis, and someone was rubbing my scalp. Nothing for months, it was a ghost. Or thought for months it was a ghost. My mom told me she heard me screaming in my sleep, and it was just her doing what her mom did for her when she had night terrors. I miss my mom. She's alive and well, I'm just not home. Very true. See, mother knows best. She should have told you the next morning, though, like, hey, are you okay? That probably would have helped.
See what's up.
See, I feel like a lot of times those are bullshit, though.
It has to be, right?
And all those ghost shows, I feel like most of those are bullshit.
Could do part 2 tomorrow for tomorrow's after tomorrow's Halloween VOD. What if I do a waiting room for the VOD and I just wait for however long it takes for them to upload? Sometimes they upload pretty early, though, not gonna lie.
Because they just have to force something.
You can't
for the
plan
show.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of the guys on our Smosh Games channel, he was a paranormal investigator. So he like actually
What,
like
that's
went
like
in.
his moonlighting job?
That's what he did back before like the
Oh,
internet
wow.
stuff. So he would.
Wait, what? I get it. Like, paranormal investigators are like a real. I mean, that's just crazy that is a career you can get into. I guess you probably need a pretty big investment probably to put in first, right? There's no way you just fall into paranormal investigating. Like Ethan's saying, it's not really a moonlighting job, I don't think.
Would be like the guy with like the machine that would like read the electromagnetic fields.
He sounded like Jimmy from South Park. Electromagnet. It was just the way he like drifted upward at the end.
Yeah.
The spook signal.
And he said that most of the time there was nothing.
Right.
But then there was like some other times where it was like, oh no, like some shit's like, so there's some weird shit.
Huh.
But he's, oh fuck, then he also has fucking ghost stories too. Like in his apartment.
Yeah.
Like just like they saw a guy in their closet.
Right.
What?
And just like
What?
weird
Just a
stuff.
guy
Just
in
a guy in a closet?
Okay,
Yeah.
can I... Is it a... Okay. The people who believe in ghosts see them, it seems like, all the time. Like, I have so many ghost stories. They're in my closet. They're in my car.
It's both him and his girlfriend.
The
see.
corroborated story.
Yeah. Like there was a time, it wasn't even, they didn't see anything. It was like this chain on their fan. Like it was just sitting there and then suddenly it was like, like somebody hit it.
But you see what I mean?
It's
It's
like,
like, do you see? It's like the same people seeing all the ghosts. And meanwhile, none of us have ever seen ghosts personally. But it's the same people seeing all the ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe some people have a sense for it. I don't know.
It's a sense thing.
Or they have a sense.
A
for
sixth
it.
sense, shall we say?
Well, anyway, I'm waiting for my first encounter. I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm not really, actually. I'm really not open to it at all. I would fight it.
I think it'd be pretty spooky.
Well, I'd be like, I'm insane.
I have no interest in seeing a ghost. No
Yeah, I have no
Yeah, it
interest
sounds
in
so
seeing a
Because
ghost.
what are you going to do? You're just going to freak the fuck out and then hope it goes away.
Well, my main problem with ghosts is the idea that all of these dead people, the billions and trillions of dead people, are just hanging around in the same space. Just the sheer density of what that is. And it's only of people in the most recent period. Like, where are the ancient ghosts? Where's the, like, BC ghosts? Where are
Where
all
the
them?
BC ghosts at?
Where the cavemen ghosts?
Yeah.
But there have been
Maybe they're trapped in their own time period.
That doesn't make any
Time
sense.
doesn't move when you're a ghost.
What?
Time.
Interesting. Interesting. I mean, here's the thing, right? There would be in this sense of what he's saying, there would be technically a lot less caveman ghosts and ancient ghosts than there would be of other types of ghosts. And I'm sure that the types of ghosts that are experienced depend on the region that you're in, because, you know, I'm sure that some areas are like, yeah, no, yeah, we see ghosts of all types of shit.
Okay. I don't know why I'm defending it. Like, I don't even believe in this shit. Well, it's like time is like, we don't perceive time, like we see it as a line, but really it could be where you can live in every moment simultaneously if you perceive it as like a fourth dimension, like we see space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible that the ghost lives in its own dimension of time.
That is a thing that someone could say, and that would be an idea.
There you go.
You've officially lost me.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but it's just like, it's from a general standpoint. I totally agree that we would be ignorant to say that we knew everything. Anyone would be ignorant to say that they knew everything. But also at the same time, it's just like, we have some logic and we have some ability to understand the what happens in the universe, like to some extent, that maybe ghosts, maybe not.
Well, I remember learning from Malcolm in the Middle that string theory states that there can be like up to 7 realities coexisting in the same space at one time. So who's to say that they're not overlapping and crossing in some way, to where maybe we're not seeing ghosts in an incorporeal sense, but we're actually just viewing into some mirror reality that is existing in a total different dimension that just overlaps in existence with ours in space-time. I learned that from the Halloween episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
But
yeah,
I won't eliminate it.
Yeah.
I feel like if there's so many people that have seen it, like there's, like,
Well,
it's not like
do you-
not like everybody's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen one, but yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't hurt me for other people to believe in ghosts.
No, but
So
I love the debate. It's interesting. When I was a kid, I don't know if it was a ghost. It may have actually just been a really creepy thing that really happened. I was laying in bed, and right across from my room, there's a window with a curtain. And I usually close the curtains, but on this day, it was open. It was about 5 a.m. The dawn had broken. It was just a little light out. And I'm opening my eyes, and I see a fucking face in the window staring at me. And it's like a real creepy face. It's not like a normal man's face. It's like a Freddy Krueger kind of Jason face. And it's just staring at me, peeking in. And my heart starts racing. I'm freaking out. And then it just walks off.
Huh. Creepy.
It could have actually just been some really creepy guy. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not paranormal.
It could have actually just been Jason.
Yeah. He's like, nah, not worth my time. This kid's not going anywhere.
Some ugly guy that was just like, is that human contact? I wish I had your good looks, Ethan. And then
6-year-old Ethan.
Off. Yeah. Oh, this is when you were 6.
Yeah.
I was just
He's like,
saying.
I want to fuck that kid.
Oh, okay.
That's where the beef started, for real. Did you guys see
that kid?
Look at Mark's face right here.
Oh, okay.
He feels sick. He feels sick to his stomach because of that. I want to add, I put both of them, in the lowest tier. I want to add Ethan on now, though. Ethan's story is a bit creepy, but I think we could chalk it up to either being, like he's saying, just a little bit of. The first thing that came to my mind was dream pre-cum. There might be a little bit of dream juice stuck in your head, but or it could have just been an actual creepy old scary man standing outside of his window. So sorry, Ethan, you got to be with your pals right here. Another good Ian and Mark. From my mom. My cousin lived with her husband and 3 children, and their spoons kept disappearing, and Linda was constantly buying replacements. After a few years, their washing machine was playing up. It leaked profusely, and the concrete floor had to be replaced. When the floor was ripped up, all the spoons were found beneath it. No explanation, but curious. That is very curious. It was just a spoon ghost, so true. It was just trying to have some spoon talk. Oh no, we have Dr. Disrespect next.
Do you have any ghost stories? Any paranormal stories?
I don't even have a thumbnail yet. Well, the other day they went live and put the thumbnail up like at the same time. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was quite literally like in the exact same moment they put the thumbnail up. And nothing yet. It doesn't. At least it doesn't seem.
Oh, alien sightings. Tell me about all the weird shit you've seen that nobody would believe.
Yes, absolutely.
Except that one guy on alien technology.
Yeah, with
he
his
would
hair.
believe everything.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
During my last year of college,
Mm-hmm.
I was staying up in a house up in the mountains. A friend of Papa Disrespects, and they owned a big ranch, big, huge acres, nice big home, and they had 3 or 4 homes on this piece of property. It had like a little small lake on it. I mean, it's up in the middle of nowhere. And I've heard the place wasn't, whatever. But he was polite enough to let me stay there my final year, and it was about a 30-minute commute to college from where they were at. And he had to leave one weekend. He said, "Hey, can you watch the house for the weekend?" I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm sitting there. I think it was Friday or Saturday night. I get back from school. I think it was the next day, Saturday night. I'm sitting there. It's about 1:32 in the morning. I'm laying in bed. All of a sudden, the phone rings, and it's a big house. So when it rings, it's like echoes, reverbs, right? I'm like, what the? No one calls, right? So I go up there. I answer. No one's on the phone. It's just, okay, what the hell is this, I go back to my bed. He had automatic lights for the driveway. I go back to the bed, and the window, the bed where I was staying at this room, this window is where you can see the driveway. And right when I lay down, boop, light goes on, right? So then I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting crazy.
Yeah.
Let me just go to the bedroom door and close it. I close it, and no joke, after I close it, I'm walking to the bed, I hear running down the hall. And I'm like, okay, this is nuts. I'm going to bed.
Bro heard a dial tone in someone's pet dog and thought it was a ghost.
How long ago was this?
This was, I got chills thinking about it. This was in 2005.
Okay, so it's quite a bit ago.
Yeah.
You were a bit of a younger doc back then.
The final piece of the puzzle, I went to bed. I shut it down, right? Like, just don't even worry about it. Get in bed, put the pillow over the head. Like, let's just call it a night, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just forget about this.
Right.
I wake up in the morning. I walk down the hall. He's got this big, huge kitchen, beautiful big kitchen. All the cabinet doors are open.
Oh my God.
All of them are open.
What?
Some poltergeist shit.
Yeah. And that was my experience at that place. I told him I didn't experience anything else after that, like anything that was weird or any of that stuff, but I had the place to myself the whole time.
We are playing biased here, and I'm going to say I think he's lying. And also, that wasn't that scary of a story. Again, I think for it to be a good ghost story, you have to have seen a ghost. You have to have either seen, heard, or like he heard like a pitter patter down a hallway, and he saw, okay, we'll maybe put it in B. We'll maybe put it in B. Because it's not necessarily goofy. He's trying to tell us a real story, but I just don't believe it. I hate to put him at B, but I'm just going based on the chart that I've created. It didn't make me laugh. You know what? I'll put it down by Joji because it didn't make me laugh. I think he's just kind of not. I feel like he added the last part. I genuinely think that everything else just sounded so boring, and then he really goes. I feel like you would kind of rush through the first part if you were telling the story. You just go like, yeah, this weird stuff was happening at night. I picked up a phone and I was hearing in the dial tone. I went and checked out out front, and the lights went on, and I was hearing like a pitter patter down the hallway. It was crazy stuff. But then the next morning, the craziest part was the next morning, I woke up and I walk out, and all of the cabinet doors are open. But it seems like he kind of threw that in at the end. I think putting him down at D kind of makes sense. Got to give it up to the dunks. The next one's Jordan Peterson.
We ask all of our guests if they have ghost stories, supernatural experiences, UFO sightings, anything like that. You don't need to get too...
What is a ghost? What do you mean by ghost?
And if you don't, you can say no. That's perfectly fine. But do you have it?
What do you mean by have?
Any supernatural experiences?
Mm-hmm.
You do.
See, this was back when he was epic stoic Jordan Peterson.
All right.
You do.
Do you mind sharing it?
I have two.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
I've got to figure out which. I'll share you the one that's funnier, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so I went to Nashville and to a scientific conference, and I looked online to book a hotel, booked a hotel, and then I went down to Nashville, and my former graduate advisor was coming, staying in the same.
I think I've seen a UFO before. I think I've seen many UFOs before, and I have a video of one. If you'd like to hear the story again for some of you chatters, let me know and I'll tell my alien story next.
Same hotel, but he didn't come with me. And a student of mine who had become a professor was also coming into town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I got to this hotel, and I didn't know that Nashville, that had been hollowed out, like the downtown wasn't good. There were lots of abandoned buildings. It was pretty crime-ridden, not a fun place. They're trying to put it back together, but the hotel that I'd rented was sort of in the middle of this, and it was a 70s hotel. And so it's kind of in a sketchy neighborhood. So that was interesting. So I walked in, but the lobby was beautiful. Like they'd completely redone it. There were replicas of like Renaissance paintings on the roof. It was all marble. It was really quite impressive. And then right next door to the lobby, there was this huge restaurant that probably sat 300-400 people. Really big restaurant. And I looked in the restaurant. There wasn't a single person there. And there was this steam table, full of stainless steel trays, huge trays, and all there was like mac and cheese and green beans. You know what green beans are like if they're like soaking in hot water for like an hour. It's like, you don't want to eat those things. So that's all there was. And I thought, that's kind of weird. And
see, looking back on it, it really was. It never made sense what he was saying. He was always rambling, right?
There was no people in there. No staff, no people. God, that's weird. So anyways, I checked in and I went up, and the rest of the hotel really
I'll tell
hadn't
my alien story right after this. I just need to get the video ready too.
been fixed up since the 1970s. So it smelled like smoke. The carpets were old. I went into my room. It was kind of ratty, but it was okay. Put my computer on the bed, put my luggage on the bed, and called my graduate student and went out to have some barbecue. So that's fine. So then I came back and got into my room, and my graduate student came along. This was Colin, the guy who invented that personality test. And I walked in, and all the drawers in the cabinets were open. Like, so there was a bureau, 4 drawers and 4 drawers side to side. And there was the little table between the beds, and there was a desk. And all of the drawers were open. And not just a little bit open, like completely open. But my computer was still on the bed, and so was the luggage. And I thought, well, that's weird. I didn't open those damn drawers. And if someone came in here to steal something, why didn't they take the computer? That'd be the logical thing to do. So we closed all the drawers, and then we thought, well, maybe a big truck went by, and like that's a pretty stupid hypothesis, but we couldn't think of anything else. So we kind of shook the cabinet to see if we could get the doors to open. We'd shut all the drawers, and when we turned around, the damn drawer on the desk was open again. So we shut that. So, okay, so I had opened, the drawer was open in the middle little cabinet between the beds too, and there was a Gideon Bible in there, and it was open, and it was open.
You know, I'll tell my story real quick so we don't start, just in case. His story is it's starting out with the Dr. Disrespect. We didn't need to hear all the green bean stuff to hear that some drawers were open in your room. But here's my alien story. Basically, when I was a teenager, I think I might have been 18 at this point, but it could have been when I was like 17. I was around that age though, 17, 18. Me and my friend decided during one evening that we were going to go at 3 a.m. and take a 3-hour walk to the skate park so we could get there at 6 a.m. when they opened and go skate. This was our plan, and we decided to start walking. We had to walk through what is called a stargazing community. And in a stargazing community, they don't have any streetlights. So literally, they have no streetlights, so you can look up at the stars and see stuff with no light pollution. It's a nice idea, but it really does make it hard to see at night. And I have to assume that there's quite a bit of crashes that happen in those neighborhoods. But we're walking through the neighborhood, and what we see first is what appears to be a drone flying above the houses. And it looks like a drone, so we don't think too much of it. And we're watching it as we're walking, we're talking, when all of a sudden the drone emits what seems to be like a green energy blob from one side. And it's like this, it literally looks like a green blob of energy that emits out of one end. And then the lights that we were able to see that was like what indicated that it was a drone to us was all of a sudden gone. So who knows, maybe it exploded, maybe the drone was just completely out. We didn't hear a single noise, but saw this like green blob come off of it, and then it disappeared. We kept walking, we were kind of like, what was that? We were talking about it, we were like thinking, and we kind of like went quiet for a minute, and we just kept walking because we were getting through this. We kind of decided, let's get through this neighborhood. And we're just walking, and we're walking, and we're walking, and at some point, for some reason, both of us at the same time get this urge, and we flip around. We're literally walking in one direction, and then immediately, in the exact same moment, we flip around and stare up into the sky. And we're staring up into the sky, and there appears to be a star that is brighter than the rest. And I go, are you looking at that star? And he's like, yeah, I'm looking at the same star. And I'm like, it's brighter than all the rest. Like, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know. And maybe it's a dying star. Maybe that's what it is, because we get the 3-hour walk. We're still checking on it every now and then, looking up. And as the rest of the sky is starting to clear, it is the one star that stays in the sky. And here, I'll show this clip. Ooh. So I show the star in the sky. The side of where the sun is not coming up doesn't even have stars anymore. But the side in which the sun is coming up still has this possible dying star, right? Maybe it's just a dying star. But then, all of a sudden it started moving. After I'm recording this video, it started moving. And I'm like, what the hell? It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. Is there a way to zoom in on this or no? Bro, I don't know. That makes it kind of difficult to show this well. You can kind of see it. It's on a phone, it's a little bit easier because it can be closer. God damn it. Be full screen. But if you look closely, you can see that it's moving across over top. I'm trying to follow it with the mouse so you can see. Over this light. And I used that as like a reference point so you could see that it was moving across. See, I can see it right now, so you might have to get close. But all of a sudden, it's not in the same place anymore, and it's moving across the sky. And I use that as a reference so you can see. And that is my alien story. I have other stuff that I've seen that was crazy. Like at one time I saw 3 lights hovering above one another, and then one by one they flew up into the sky. Oh, and I should say that once it started moving across the sky, it stopped looking like a light, and it started looking like a silver orb or something. Like it legitimately started looking like some kind of like silverish orb. Like it didn't have any kind of like defining features where I could see planes that appeared smaller than it because it was farther away, but it was like this, like, I don't even know if it's like farther away is the right thing, but it just looked like an orb. Like it had no definable features. But then I saw those 3 lights one by one flew up into the sky. My whole family saw that, and I have a story that my dad told me, so take this with a grain of salt if you want. But my dad's seen a lot of these things with me, and I believe this story 100% because we were gone out of the house, and my dad was taking our dog out to use the restroom, and he was outside just looking at the stars because that's like what we would do. We would look up at the stars whenever we'd go outside. So he'd be looking up at the stars, and he said that he saw one moving across the sky like normal. He said he'd see one moving across the sky, and we're always like, we don't know what it is. Maybe it's a military plane. Maybe it's some super fast satellite or something that we don't know about that's just trailing through the sky super quick. But my dad said it's moving across the sky when all of a sudden it blips super fast and it's gone, and it's gone from sight. But what it left was a trail, like in Star Trek. It literally left like a light trail in the sky. Like it just moved at the speed of light and left a literal like light trail in the sky. And he said it freaked him out, and he grabbed the dog and ran inside because he was like terrified. And he called my mom and was like, oh, and like told her it, and like he was like, I don't even know what to do because it's not like whatever it was seemed like it left. But yeah, that was one that I didn't personally see myself, but it was something crazy. I've seen something similar. It was maybe 2015. My dad also has the exact same story that Post Malone told on one of these. I thought that it was going to be included in his previous story, but my dad told me that he had the experience of, he was a truck driver. He would drive he drove a mixer, and he was driving one night, and he said that all of a sudden the night flashed to day. He was driving through the night, and all of a sudden it flashed to day, like in Malcolm in the Middle when they blew up that huge. I use a lot of Malcolm in the Middle references because it's the thing I know the best. But it's like when they blew up that firework in that Malcolm in the Middle episode with Francis. And he said it went like from nighttime to daytime for a split second, and then right back to night, and then it was just like a crazy thing. And I remember my dad told me that story, and then I heard the Post Malone story after, and I was like, well, I know my dad was telling the truth then. That sounds like a satellite flare. What's a satellite flare? Satellite flare. I see what you're saying, but what my dad said was that it was literally like a trail across the sky. Because I see what you're saying, that it does leave it for a second, like it leaves like a small trail. But my dad said it left a trail so large that it literally terrified him, and he ran inside, and that it was gone after that point. Because I see what you're saying, that this is somewhat similar. I already doubt what is real in my life. I can't imagine seeing something like that. I'd probably check myself into a hospital. I think that the main thing is most of the time I've seen stuff with other people. Or like I said, like my ghost story, like other people have like a similar ghost story in my family that like, or like the experience with my dad with the ghost. So it all kind of like, it's corroborated in some way. But yeah, when you're having just like individual moments and then everybody else is like, what are you talking about? It could definitely drive you crazy. I remember the first time I saw Starlink, I was so scared. I thought the alien from Signs was going to come down and beat my ass. Was the Starlink one where they had like because they broke the sound barrier and you could see like the color off of it? Because that's basically what it looked like. And that was many, many years before. Am I talking about the right thing? Starlink. Oh no, the Starlink's the other one. Okay, that's this one. Yeah, which still, yeah, the Starlink looks crazy. They're coming for me. No. Yeah, I'd be terrified of this for sure.
The line.
Sorry, let's hear more about green beans. We got to get back to it.
Says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And I thought, well, that was pretty interesting. I closed that, closed the door. And my we talked for a while. Graduate student left, and I thought, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was weird, but right. Whatever, it was weird. So then I went to sleep. In the middle of the night, I woke up and I thought, that wasn't just weird. That was really weird. It was like someone was in my room, right? Because otherwise, why were the drawers open? And why were they open? Like, what's going on?
And the Bible was open.
Well, and so the next morning, I went downstairs to this black girl behind the counter. And I walked up and I said, look, I don't want to alarm you, but I went out last night. And when I came back into my room, all the drawers were open. I think someone was in my room. And she said, I don't want to alarm you, but we know this place is haunted. And I always come to work with a baseball bat. And I thought, oh, well.
What's a baseball bat going to do if it's haunted? You can't do that. You can't hit a ghost.
Of all the responses, I thought
It's a weak strategy.
Yeah.
You can do better than that.
Terrifying?
Well, it was just, it was surreal, right? And it was like a movie moment. It was ridiculous. Right. So I went and talked to my graduate advisor, an older guy who had been in the hotel, and he said that the night before he had taken a shower, and when he came out, there were 2 drawers open in his room. And so
the first time I saw Starlink, I tried to call and report it to the government of Canada, but my sister came in clutch and knew what it was. LOL. I'm still embarrassed. Hey, don't be embarrassed. I'm sure a bunch of people probably called and were just told, don't worry, it's Starlink. It happens. I mean, why you got to mention she's black? I thought that was weird too. I just wasn't going to bring it up. He said, so I went to talk to this girl behind the counter, this black girl behind the counter. you didn't need to clarify. Well, let me tell you what she said next. Then you tell me if it matters. I don't know why. What was the point of bringing that up?
These damn drawer opening ghosts.
Okay, and I'll finish this off with the other weird part of this story, which isn't quite so ghostly, but is also extremely weird. And it just gives you a sense of the place. So we went for breakfast the next day, and I took 2 different graduate students for breakfast. We went to this restaurant right next door, and there was no one there. And there was no staff.
The same one in the hotel.
Same one. Same one. Very fancy. Green marble. Like, it might have been quite a place.
Well, they were all busy hiding from the ghosts. They were all scared.
Back in the 1970s. So we're sitting there and sitting there and sitting there and sitting there for like half an hour. And finally, this waiter walks by and we stop and we say, well, do you have any menus? He says, well, we don't have menus.
You know what he's doing? He's just explaining like his fan fiction script for like a The Shining prequel. Like he's trying to give his own history of the lodge. I forget what it was called.
And I said, well, what do you mean you don't have menus? He said, you can just order anything you want.
What?
And I said, well, you mean anything? He said, yeah, you just order anything you want. We'll cook it.
So
I was like,
weird.
okay, so
Yeah, this was the Timberland Lodge he was staying at.
we ordered eggs and breakfast, right?
Right.
Well, we'll have breakfast. How would that be? So then we're sitting there talking, and we waited, and we waited, and we
green beans
waited,
this
and we
time.
waited. It was like 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Nobody's there.
No one's there.
No,
No
they're
one's
not
there.
cooking for
Nothing's
anyone else.
happening.
We got a thumbnail yet, or are we still riding on fumes? My goodness. At least the title hasn't changed. H3 Halloween Spooktacular 2025 edition. Scary.
Finally, he comes out with these plates, and he puts the plate down in front of me.
There's
It's quite
ectoplasm on the plates.
nicely garnished, and there's 2 eggs on it. And they are, I swear, they are raw. They have not been cooked. And I looked at him, and I looked at the plate, and it was the same with the other 2 people that were there. They gave them eggs that had just been put on the plate.
What?
He said, well,
Cracked right
on. It wasn't like they were undercooked. They weren't
They were
white with
just-
some clear on the top.
Right.
They were raw.
Right.
But nicely decorated.
Sure.
I thought,
That's so
well,
weird.
what the hell? What the hell? We said, okay, look. I was like, we called him back, or we said, these eggs are raw. They're not cooked. It's like, what's going on? He said, oh, we'll fix that. So then he went off into the kitchen, and it was like 20 minutes later, and he brought it back, and they were cooked. And so,
What does this have to do with ghosts? Were they ghost eggs? I guess
We've
they
been
were
in-
because they were clear. Whoa. He's really ahead of us.
there for like 2 hours by that point, late for the conference, and I was laughing to my students. I said, well, the only thing that could possibly top that off is if it was ridiculously expensive. So then he brought the bill. It was like $83.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, well. so
But
that's-
was he a ghost?
Well, I don't know. Well, he wasn't a waiter, that's for sure, and he certainly wasn't a cook.
Wait.
$3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, well. so
But
that's-
was he a ghost?
Well, I don't know. Well, he wasn't a waiter, that's for sure, and he certainly.
I think this was the worst one yet. I think if I'm being completely honest, this was the worst one yet. I like this image with him and the lobsters though. Oh my god, Photoshop is running so slow right now. Put him right here at the bottom. Pretty good, pretty good. What was the... I think he forgot that they asked him about ghosts. Like, genuinely, I think he might have just forgotten they asked him about ghosts. So there was the ghost. So where was the ghost? The ghost was someone was in his room before he came in. You know what it sounds like? It literally sounds like somebody that was a little bit crazy was in the room before him, and they left everything opened and like pulled out all the drawers and stuff, and then they didn't check on it or something. Or maybe that's just what they do. Who knows? Maybe they just flip to a random page in the Bible for you. I thought this vid was erased from the channel. This is on the highlights channel. I know they erased the original Jordan Peterson podcast, but they have the highlights still up. At least it seems. Or
we ask all.
No, yeah, it's still live. I was gonna see if it's unlisted, but it's still live.
I'll start with you, Mom.
Time for Donna and Gary Klein.
Do you have any ghost stories?
No, but
Why do you look so excited?
Because your birthday present.
Oh, is it about ghost stories?
Might play into that somehow.
Oh.
So you don't have any ghost stories?
Let's
It's
see.
okay, you don't
I've had
have to have.
out of body experience, but
Yeah,
that's
tell
not
me
a,
about
but
that.
that's not a ghost story.
Well, it's supernatural. How do you explain that? Ghost.
I don't know how
God.
you explain it.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, so this was a long, long time ago.
How long ago? BG? Before Gary?
No.
Nothing's that long. Nothing
No.
that old.
No.
People
But
don't remember those
I
days.
I don't know if I should
the-
tell this story
Hold on one
on
sec.
the air.
People are saying the gain on the mics is too much.
Too much gain?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's too loud. It's like tearing. We have a problem with the sound, Dan? Okay. Sorry, guys. We're fixing that. Can't wait to hear about this.
If you say, I don't know if I should tell this story, the answer is no, you shouldn't.
Okay.
No. What? No.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
oh,
coming.
is it drug related? Drugs are fine.
No, it's nothing about drugs.
Tell me about it. Let's hear it.
I just realized I didn't catch that. He said it took them 20 minutes later to cook the eggs. It sounds like that was the only guy working that day. He was working as like he was the cook. He's like, I'm not supposed to be doing any of this. He's like, I don't even have my food handler's card. Here are these eggs. These are right? This is how you want them, right?
This is the juice. This is why we come together. This is interesting. It's rocking.
You seem worried.
It's a little wild and weird.
I don't know if I should say.
La 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 la. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear it. Come on, you can't not now.
Well.
Oh, this doesn't
Oh
sound
no!
good.
I don't know. I don't know if I should.
I have
say.
no idea where she's going.
Whisper
That's
in
why
Dad's
I'm
ear.
scared.
Whisper in Dad's ear.
No.
All
Do
right,
I even
so
know this?
so the sound is fine.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
sounds back. Okay,
Oh,
then we
I
have.
don't even know
we
it.
need this story.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Come on, how dangerous can it be? Tell us.
It could
the
be
story.
really dangerous. Can I tell you?
What, you gonna beat her? Why is it gonna be dangerous, Gary? What are you talking about?
Off the air?
Yeah, sure. Everyone listening would love to hear you tell it off the air. No, you're committed now.
Okay, people
Let's
don't
go.
listen.
Spring it.
Okay,
Let's go.
all right, all
Let's
right.
hear it.
Do you want to write it first for us? And we...
She was
Okay,
ready. To...
everybody, fingers in your ears. La 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 la. Okay.
Tell
Okay,
the
tell
story.
it. Okay, tell the
Let me
story.
call my attorney first.
All
Is
right,
this going to
well-
end in me filing for divorce papers or something?
No,
Okay,
no,
good.
no. Your father and I have been married for 42 years.
42 years.
Wow.
42 years.
Seems like a long time.
Yes. And all marriages have ups and downs. There's no such perfect marriage. And we got married when we were young, and there was a time in our relationship where we broke up for a little bit. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, I know
it
the
was,
story.
It was like way before you were born.
Are you playing stuff?
No, I'm not.
This
Yes,
is like
you
the
are.
fifth
Gary.
time. How
You
are you
can't hear
playing
anything.
audio?
He's playing Candy Crush real quick.
Gary,
What the hell?
ADD.
You're
come on,
chewing.
stop.
You're playing stuff.
She's about to tell the story of the ghost of the huge dildo that Ethan found.
This is out of control.
I don't know
Okay.
why you stop. Please
Just
So-
mute it. Just turn off
Yeah,
the sound.
I
of
know,
it.
Done.
Here's
Please.
a tip. You gotta mute
Stop.
it.
Just mute it. You could. All right,
Louise.
Mom,
Stop
we're ready.
picking on me.
Oh my God! Well, stop doing what you're doing. So, anyway, so this was a time in my life, a short time when I was with another person, and I was actually in
You guys
bed.
weren't together. You blew it.
Yeah,
No wonder I never heard this story.
I
Please
was
continue.
I was actually in bed, and this other person was sleeping, and I was up. At least I thought I was up. Maybe I was sleeping, and I just remember I was somehow I was like flying, and I was looking down on myself and this other person, and I thought for a minute that this was really cool that I was flying, and then I got scared.
You're like, what the
And
fuck?
yeah, I got scared. And then I remember I took my hand and I tried to grab myself to hold on to not like fly away from my body. And my hand went through
Weird.
my body. And I thought, oh my God, am I dead? What's happening?
Crazy.
And then at the last minute, when I realized that maybe this is not a
dream?
good thing, maybe this isn't a dream, maybe something horrible has happened to me, I screamed out your father's name. I did. I swear to God. I
That's
said,
a wonderful
I
story.
screamed
Let's
out your
not-
name because I wanted you, and I think we got back together.
You have such good
afterwards.
taste.
Wow, that was a wonderful story. What was the problem with that story?
I was in
I have
bed
no problem
sleeping
with that
another
story.
man.
You weren't together. You had
No,
a
we were
breakup.
not.
No, we weren't.
Let's talk about how much fun I had
Never
during
mind.
the
I
disco
don't wanna-
era
I
when
don't
we
wanna
were
hear
broken
about
up.
that.
Hold on.
You know what's funny about that story that she told anyways? The story, honestly, she didn't need to even bring up that someone else was in the bed. She could have just said that it was when they were broken up. She was real hung up on that part, but that part didn't even need to be told. Like, you know what I mean? That part didn't even need to, like, necessarily come up in the story. She could have just said it was a point in which we were broken up, and I don't remember if I was sleeping, it was at a friend's house or what, but I remember I was in bed, and then tell the story from there. She called out that other guy's name. She just wants Gary to feel good about himself. During the disco era. Gary was getting down with his disco balls.
Wait, so
I don't
what
wanna hear
do you think maybe it could be like a sleep paralysis thing? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it couldn't have been real. I couldn't have been flying, but it seemed so real.
You
'cause
could have
I was,
been flying.
I was looking down on myself, and I wanted
You
an
thought
anchor.
you were awake.
Maybe you're
Yeah, I thought I was awake.
Maybe you're a warg.
I don't think
You've
so
watched
because
it
I was,
too many times,
yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't
we're-
in something else. I was just it was just
So,
me. So that was my weird.
How did it end?
I woke up. I was screaming for Dad's name, and then I woke up.
So true. Donna's just an honest queen. She'd never tell even a white lie. She has to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth at all times. She's
You're not
she's under oath since birth.
First woman to do that.
Okay, come on. We're trying to make this a nice moment.
Jeez.
Christ.
Jeez
I can hear
Louise.
laughter from the
One thing happened to me that was really weird. This is when your sister was a little baby. She was like maybe 4. Well, not a little baby. She was maybe like 4.
Yeah.
But
That's not a baby.
This is before both you and your brother were born. And I remember I was having a weird dream.
I love when people tell dreams where they're like, I had this crazy dream that was so scary. My scary dream, like I have dreams about dying all the time, but they're always like I die in the most innocuous ways. Where like it'll just be like driving on the freeway or something, you just crash. Well, I'm cautious throughout life. Someone points a gun at you just randomly and just shoots you in the face. That's why I'm cautious throughout life. That one doesn't happen that often, but that has actually been a dream of mine a couple times. Of just getting shot in the face and dying. Not the way I want to go out. You know, my friend accidentally got shot in the face and lived. Interesting stuff.
Monster dream. And it kind of was freaking me out. And I woke up and Jessica came into the room and she said, Mom, I'm having this monster dream. And she wanted to like crawl into bed with us for security because she was having it was the same dream that I was
You guys were
having.
having the same dream.
The same dream.
That's bizarre.
That was really weird.
Have you guys spoke about that? Like
Oh,
now?
all the time.
Huh.
All the time. We both made. I mean, it was
That's
something we
pretty
remembered.
spooky. Like I've heard about people having the same dream. That's really weird that
And
that can happen.
yeah, and I woke up when she came into my room and told me that she was having this monster dream. And,
Monster dream.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
Yeah. So that's about all.
Did you have any Monster Energy drink that night by any chance?
No, I don't think they had.
See, I think the last crazy, scary dream I had, I think thumbnail goes hard. Ooh. He's the Joker. And it's Dan Clancy. The Dan Clancy. What actually is Ethan's, what is Ethan supposed to be? I'm a little confused. But, I remember I think my brain started making me have more realistic, scary dreams because the last, like, horror dream that I had was I was being chased by a monster. And then I remember thinking in my dream, this isn't realistic. This couldn't happen in real life. So then the monster, like, disappeared. And then I was like, I want to fly. And then I flew through the building I was in and, like, all the walls collapsed. And I just flew out of the building. And I'm like flying through the sky, and I'm like, wait, why am I flying? Because I was a little kid, so I was like, I don't want to fly, I want to drive a car. So then I was driving a car through the sky like a Harry Potter. I was doing that, and I remember I was like going over hills and shit, and then I woke up, and I don't even think I've had a lucid dream since then. I haven't had a lucid dream or a very like outrageous dream. Most of my dreams are very realistic. My brain doesn't want to give me that power. I could probably read a clock and I'd be like, oh, those all make sense.
All right, I'm just asking.
Dad, do you have any ghost stories?
No, not.
You're like me. I feel like
I'm
you're
very
more
empirical.
Yeah.
I've just had my weird dream stories like Mom, too, like the one with the movie poster.
I got
and-
crushed to death by an octopus in the magic school bus at the bottom of the lake in a dream. I also one time dreamed I was an Edmund Fitzgerald while it was sinking. I was the Edmund Fitzgerald while it was sinking. Like I was literally the ship. How does that work? Was it like third person, like you were just imagining as the ship, or were you like your eyes were like the front, like the looking out of the mast, looking out of the Whatever. Don't care. Don't know enough about boats. I hope they kiss. The Rhett and Link kiss lives rent free in my head. It was a pretty good one. They did a good job on that.
Wait, you got to tell that. Do you mind telling that story?
No. Yeah, the movie poster.
It's really interesting, and I see the effect it had on you.
Yeah, it's well, I was, you know, my wonderful mother, Eileen, was way ahead of her time. She got married very young, married her high school sweetheart, who uncle was in the movie industry. His uncle.
I used to have dreams where a killer comes after me and I wake up every time he kills me, over and over again, but a new location each time. See, in that, what you have to do is, obviously, the running away wasn't working. You gotta fight back. You gotta kill him first.
Uncle, my
It was like Thomas the Tank Engine for a face watching everything. That's pretty good. Thomas the Tank Engine had boats, didn't it? You know what's funny? Where do they call him Thomas the Train? Because I've heard some people call him Thomas the Train, and I'm like, it's Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, there we go. You were like this. Oh, these are great.
My biological father's Leonard Katzman. His uncle was Sam Katzman, who was the king of B movies. So my mother, though, was.
Oh, I remember this story. This isn't really a ghost story. This is like a story of a prophetic dream. I guess the story is he saw the ghost of his father, though, or he didn't see the ghost of his, because he saw his father in the past. So it was almost like he had a dream of like, oh, they're live.
Everybody, to.
Oh, he's the Juker. Is that what he is? Is he the fucking Juker? Is that what he's supposed to be? Well, thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sometimes Thursdays if they go live on Thursdays, or Tuesdays as well. I stream all the time and try to stream more and more. I really do appreciate all the people that stopped in. We're going to continue this tomorrow. We'll rewatch the family story since this is a little bit longer. It still has 7 more minutes. But we will continue this and get this fully filled out tomorrow. I really do appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cap and Quasar, signing off.